Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I'm a nutrition entrepreneur. I spent 7 years as a side hustler before diving into entrepreneurship full time. Before making the leap, I was bringing in 6 figures through my side hustle. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to the 248th episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, leveraging Chat GPT for video. I am so excited to welcome back to the podcast, April Sins. You may remember April. Her brand is the Video Dietitian from an earlier episode of the podcast, episode 224, when she talked all about building video confidence. Now, April is a student in the Blogging Accelerator program. She is an amazing entrepreneur, and she has a real gift to help dietitians do video, make impact, reach people, and get over all those things that keep us stuck. And so in today's episode, we're actually going to be talking about 2 things that many dietitians are uncomfortable with. Everyone, but a lot of dietitians are uncomfortable with these 2 things, but they can massively help you in your side hustle. And that is creating video content and leveraging AI. So thank you for being here, April. The first question I have is, can you tell us more about you and how you got to this place where you are helping dietitians to create videos?
Yes, thanks so much for having me, Katie. I'm excited to talk about this today because it's such a passion of mine, and I really want to get more dietitians on video. And so the way that I started is quite the opposite. I would run away when there was a camera that would come out. When the red light would come on, I was hiding. So I did not want to be on video. It was not in my plan. And it came out of a necessity where I had a cooking school for kids. And one day I got a call from the news, and they asked me to go on the show and do live news to talk about my business. And I did not want to go on, I thought about it and I said, you know what? This is free advertisement that I could go and do. So I just need to get out of my comfort zone and go. And so out of my mouth came yes. And my brain was like, what did you just do? We're afraid of video. And so I ended up going on the news and going to the live news, and I got a great response from it. The news invited me back on, and it really started to become a passion of mine. But what I realized is that with live video being in my pocket via my phone, being social media, I could not only do that on the news, but I could also pick up my phone and then get on video. And so that's where I started doing that. I started really crafting more and more videos to try and reach more people. And it really worked. I had a lot of people that I connected with over video before I even met them in person. They would come, I had a brick and mortar, so they would meet me on the video, and then they would come in and they felt like they already knew me, which was great because it was a cooking school for kids. And so to have that ability to connect with people beforehand is just irreplaceable. So what happened was from there, I had that business for several years, and then I got into retail, being a retail dietitian, where a big chain of grocery stores asked me to come and start doing videos for them as well. So that's what I started doing since then, is being on video on social media and on the news and all those things through there. Now, what happened was is that I realized that there's a lot of dietitians that they want to, be in front of a camera, but they're just not quite comfortable. They're not quite there yet. And a lot of it has to do with just the overwhelm and just, not knowing what to say whenever they turn the camera on. And so that's where I've really started the Video Dietitian Instagram page to help with those sorts of things, to communicate how to get on video and give some tips and tricks on that.
Yes. I love your story, and I love how you went outside of your comfort zone. Essentially, saying yes to something that terrified led you to something that totally changed the game for you. So, so I love that. You're like, I'm the video dietitian, but I was not always. So,
Right, exactly.
So tell us more about why dietitians should use video. Like, what's the benefit and what are we talking about even when we're saying like use video? Like, what is it and why should they be doing it?
Well, there's several reasons why we should use video, and one of them is to reach more people. So whenever in the old days, people would look people up on the yellow pages and try to find people through that way. But now with this world of being online, there's so many more people that we can reach and so many more people that we can help. And everybody has an expertise that they can take from their daily routine and they can put it online and then be known for that. So you can build your own personal brand awareness online. So if it's your dream to work with brands or if it's your dream to speak on stages, you can actually take out your phone and you can start practicing that on your own personal stage, which is your platform. And so it kind of like expands the world of being a dietitian into not just one-on-one or not just going to a place and being in front of people, but being online. You can actually reach people while you sleep. You can
Yes.
you can somebody could be looking at your video while you're sleeping, while you're doing other things. And so it can improve your business online if you're an entrepreneur, if you're you see people in person, it can just bring more awareness about you, but it can also bring more awareness of you, across the world, across the nation. And so it is a really great way to reach people. And so you don't have to have a big following. You don't have to have a ton of followers to be able to reach more people. You just have to make engaging videos to be able to help people watch your video and really understand your message.
Yeah. I love that. And it really comes down to this is the world we live in, and video can help you to reach people we can help. And as dietitians, we are helpers. And even as you're talking, and when you're talking about like the phone book, right? People used to have to look up the phone book. And I think about how lucky we are to be alive in a day and age where we literally can use this little thing we keep in our pockets, create video, create content, share it on social media, on websites, on different platforms, and make massive impact and educate and inspire and change people's lives. It's insane because in the past, there weren't that many opportunities to get on video. But now there are so many doors that are available and open for us. We just have to learn this new skill set and step into those doors, into that discomfort, because what's on the other side is lives that are going to be changed by what it is we all have to
Yep.
offer. But then even our lives are going to change because it opens up so many doors in our own business and side hustles. So, yay to video. And if you guys want to learn more about, how to build confidence on video, because with anything when you start, it's going to feel scary. You're going to look at your videos and be like, that sucked. That's okay. You got to start, you got to keep doing it, but go listen to episode 224 of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, all on building confidence on video. And April's got tons of tips in that episode for you. But let's kind of take a shift here. We're talking about video because this is your area of expertise and it really is something that helps dietitians. But let's kind of shift the conversation into AI. And as we start having this conversation, can you first kind of lay the framework about what is AI? What is Chat GPT? We'll start from there.
Yes, there are different platforms other than ChatGPT, but ChatGPT tends to be one of the most known platforms. So with these platforms, the beauty of it is that we can train it to be able to produce some content and help us produce content and not have to spend so much time. If I had $1 for every time somebody says, I don't have time to make video, I don't have time to do content creation, I would have a lot of money because the thing is that we have tools. And I'm going to back up for a second. I remember in 2023, it was November 2023, my husband told me that about this new thing called Chat GPT, and he showed it to me, and I said, wow. And it kind of took my breath away, and I said, that's kind of scary, and I think that is what the way a lot of people look at it. They get kind of like, whoa, this is powerful. Now what is this? What is this? But if you think back, every single piece of new technology that we get is scary to people.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking back to iPhones. That was scary to people. People wanted to keep their old phones. They wanted the flip phone. They didn't want the buttons. Thinking back to internet, everything has resistance whenever it first starts. And it's the same thing with AI. But since that 2023, whenever it first came out, to now, it has advanced a lot really quickly. So it's going to continue to advance. So that's why I feel passionate about making sure that dietitians understand how to use AI effectively for their content planning, because this is not something that's going to take the place of you. So I think that is a fear of people. People think it's going to replace me. It's going to not sound like my voice. But the important thing to remember is that it is a tool. It's like anything else. It's like a calculator in your pocket. It's like anything that you have to learn to use and adapt to. This is a tool. Now, there's a few things that you want to remember when it comes to Chat GPT, is you want to remember that you're going to train it. So there's certain things that you're going to tell Chat GPT to be able to learn how, what you do, and who you're serving, and those sorts of things. So there are things that you're going to train it on, but you're going to tell it how to act. You're going to tell it, how you want this information to be. Maybe you want to tell it, hey, you're going to be my virtual assistant today, or today you're going to be my intern. You kind of have to think of it almost as like your dietetic intern. The first day they show up, they don't know what you do for your job. They don't automatically know. You have to train them. And so, but the thing with video is it's not going to replace you, because it's going to give you some ideas and maybe ways to craft things, but you have to show up. You have to bring you, and you have to bring your personality and the way that you present, your presentation skills and your brain, because, nothing's going to beat the human brain. And so you have to bring you to be able to do that. So I think that there's just so much to talk about when it comes to Chat GPT, because there's a lot of like feelings around it, when we really just have to look at it as a tool that we have to learn to use. And I heard this the other day, and I thought that it was brilliant, is when we learn something new, it's not hard, it's just new. And so that's how we have to look at this, is we have to learn how to use it, or it's just going to keep going. If we don't learn how to adapt to it, then we may get left behind. So we need to learn how to adapt.
Yeah, my business coach's brother said AI is not going to replace people, but people who leverage AI are going to replace people who do not leverage AI. I'm butchering his quote, but I thought that was really cool, because you're right. It is a tool. It is a
Yeah.
tool that once we start playing around with, we're like, oh my gosh. I wrote down one thing, how you said, like, a lot of people said, I don't have time. That's okay, because now we have tools that can help save
Yes.
you time. So,
Exactly.
quick question about ChatGPT. So essentially, ChatGPT is one of the most common, most popular of the AI tools out there. So I know there's a free and a paid version. Can you speak at all to those two different versions? Like, do people have to pay for ChatGPT? Like, how does that work?
You can do a lot on the free version. In fact, I use the free version. I just recently started paying for it, and it's not. And when you pay for it, it's not a very expensive. But you can really, you don't have to use the paid version. You can really use a lot. I think the only limitation is, it'll limit you on the amount of information it can return to you within that 24-hour period. You have to wait like another day before you can use so much. But the technology changes so much, so I don't want to tell you something today and then it might change tomorrow. But it's the free version is very good, and that's the thing about what we're talking about. ChatGPT is free. Social media is free. These are things that we can use for free. These are marketing tools. And so whenever we use these marketing tools, think about this. When I had my brick and mortar business, I used to spend $2,000 a month on a billboard to try and get people to come to my business. You can now get online and advertise and reach out to people and help people. And the best way to use the social media tools is to help educate people and help, do things that are relatable and things like that. It's not always about, trying to sell something. It's just about educating and relating to people.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about how Chat GPT can help with video. I guess that's kind of like what we're culminating to. We're talking about video, we're talking about Chat GPT, but how can someone leverage Chat GPT to help them with video?
So when it comes to video, so what happens with people is that a lot of times they lose confidence in getting in front of the camera because they don't know what to talk about. And
Yep.
so that's the first thing that ChatGPT can help you with is what you can do is you bring your ideas, like take a few ideas that you have and you bring those ideas and then you put that on ChatGPT. We do have to train it, and there's some things that I'm going to tell you about in my webinar that I'm having. But you do have to train it to where it can help you um, better. But what it's going to do is you can tell it to say, "Hey, can you help me come up with a good hook to start this video?" And what
Mm.
this is the topic that I'm talking about. You can tell ChatGPT a story, like something that happened in your day, and say, how can this relate to how I help people? How can I take this story and relate it? Because sometimes even storytelling can be kind of hard for us to relate it in different ways, and sometimes it's like bouncing ideas off of your best friend.
Yeah.
It's basically like just you're asking it to help you say something a little bit better, maybe a little bit clearer. Messaging can be difficult sometimes because we can understand things a certain way because we have the science brain and we think of all these things. But sometimes we need to take our message and change it around to speak to the general public and have
Mhm.
it be something that is understandable and that is more sounds like the language that people normally use outside of a clinical basis. And so sometimes we need that to bounce off. Now, ChatGPT cannot take the place of your knowledge base, and it cannot take the place of your expertise and science. So it's not perfect. So you do have to look at it, and you have to really study, and you can even ask it, where did it find the information if it's given you some sort of information that you're not sure about. But those are things that you have to learn how to work with it. And like we said before, it's a tool. And so by using the tool a little bit each day, you're going to figure out how to use it. And it also has a memory base where it can remember things that you've told it before. And so it's really powerful.
Yes. I do have the paid version of Chat GPT myself, and I absolutely love it. So it almost sounds like as you're talking, it's like Chat GPT can help with video. It's like your creative sidekick, your VA. And I just kind of jotted down some of the things that you mentioned, how Chat GPT can help you come up with ideas for video. You're like, okay, I want to create content. I don't even know what the heck to say. Chat GPT can help you figure out what to say. I loved even the idea of hooks because it's not so much about filming a video. You actually have to hook someone in so they'll watch the video. So, and for a lot of us,
Yes.
that's a skill set. Well, obviously we didn't learn that in school, but that's a skill set that we have to develop over time. Um, I loved how you said, actually, I hadn't thought of this before, but sharing a story and like, hey, here's something that happened today. How can we connect this to this concept? Which is so important
Yes.
because people learn by stories. When we tell a story,
Mhm.
people get hooked, they get engaged, they want to hear more. And if you could tie it into an educational piece that's going to help them, win win. They're more likely to remember the story than just a factoid. So I love that. And then even the piece about making the language understandable, because sometimes we have our science hat on and we're speaking dietitian. Just we need that
Exactly.
reminder. But I do like
Mhm.
the caveat of it as a tool. It is not perfect, so we have to feed it the information, and we have to review it and make sure it's legit. We don't just want to start recording content and then later we're like, what was I saying? So,
Yes.
so it sounds like ChatGPT helps with creation of video by giving you creative ideas and helping you to figure out, what to do on camera, but then it's up to you to go out and create the content.
Exactly. You have to bring yourself. It cannot replace you. And what, I know you like to talk a lot about that concept of mindset, and a lot of people, think it has to be perfect and things. Videos do not have to be perfect. In fact, some of the videos it, that people love, and they go, some of the most viral videos, they are not edited, they're not perfect. They are just people being themselves. And so that's really big, to think about that, you can use Chat GPT, use these tools. You bring yourself and you just be you. And there's a little percentage that I want you to think about too, is that some people are waiting until something is 100% perfect to post it, but that's really stopping them, and it's almost an excuse not to do it. But if it's 60% perfect and you post it, you just did way more than waiting until it was 100%. So just keep in mind that, making videos, it's a different journey for each person, but it's all about connecting with people.
Yeah.
And so ChatGPT can't take the place of you connecting with people. So I think that it's really important because, if you're showing up on video and then people, and I don't want to say it's going to write an exact script, and I don't want you to read everything that it says and things like that, but it's going to help you with the concepts. It's going to help you with the messaging, help you have some clarity whenever you go to make those videos. So that way you actually go from thinking about it to actually doing it.
Yes, done is better than perfect. And I
Mhm.
love how AI is a tool to help you make video better. I I'm sure you've seen them too, but there are some AI tools out there that try to replicate video, and I know we've all seen them, but then you have that really choppy, robotic, awkward person, and it's just this reality that we can't replace a real person with our, even I mispronounce things or say things wrong all the time. AI would not be able to capture all of this imperfectness. So I think, but that's one of the things that makes good video, like you were saying. It's like we
Yep.
connect with real. We want to talk to a real person. We don't want to see some robot out there creating junky content. So as we're talking about leveraging ChatGPT and AI for video, we're not talking about using one of those tools that create those robotic things talking. We're talking about using this to help you to do the done is better than perfect videos, to get the ideas, to get the inspiration, to get the creativity. So I feel like this is such a wonderful conversation, but I know one of the best ways to learn ChatGPT is to actually watch it in action. And you do have a webinar coming up next week. Is I actually just asked April, was it yesterday or the day before? I just asked her, I'm like, can you come on the podcast? Because I wanted to make sure that we can get her on the podcast. She can share more about this concept. And hopefully, those of you who are listening live can go to a free webinar that she's hosting, because I think it's a really innovative and creative topic that she's talking about that I know is going to help all of you so much in side hustling and all the things. So, can you tell people more about this webinar, when it is, and what they're going to be, what you will be doing? Because I know you're actually going to be showing, not just teaching. So,
Yep. Yes, exactly. So it is called ChatGPT for video, using AI effectively and also helping you plan your content. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna show you online like how to use ChatGPT, some different things. We call them prompts. It's basically just directions of what you want to tell GPT to do for you. And so I'm gonna be showing you some of those things in action. And then also we're gonna be just talking about how ChatGPT can just help you take your ideas and then get them onto paper, and then taking that and then using it to make videos. So it's going to be great. It's really interactive. You're going to be able to see it in action.
yes. So, if you are listening to this podcast anytime between when it goes live to April 28th, is that right?
Yes, I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. Yes, April
Between now
28th
and
at
April
7
28th of
Central.
2025, because I know some people go back and listen to these episodes later. But if you are listening to this anytime live, I want you to go register for the webinar. Now, you can find the link if you go to find April on Instagram at the Video Dietitian. It's in her link in bio. Her link in bio, you can type in aprilsins.com to get there. You could also type in katiedodd.com, my link in bio. You will find the link there as well. And so I want you guys to go sign up for this webinar. It is completely free. April's going to provide tons of value, and it's not just going to be the audio. You're actually going to see her sharing her screen, doing the thing, and you're going to walk away with so much inspiration and tangible tools to go out there and do the thing yourself, so that way you can start making more content, more video, help more people, grow your side hustle. So let's talk about, for those who are listening to this episode later though, what I know you have a gift for everyone. For those who are listening live, go check out the webinar, but what's the gift that you have for people who might be listening to this later and they're like, shoot, I've missed the webinar?
Yeah, so it's called free dietitian hooks. So what a hook is how you start your video. And the thing is that a lot of people will start their video off like this. Hi guys, my name is April Sins and I'm a registered dietitian. And by the time you get to the part that you actually want to say, like 5 seconds have already gone by and they probably scrolled. So you want to start your video off with something in the beginning that's going to hold attention long enough to where you can get to your message. And so this gives you some ideas that really you can use for any type of specialty. And you just, it's like a fill in the blank. So you figure out what you want to add in that applies to your specialty.
I love that. And that will also be, they can find that at aprilsins.com.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. You can
Perfect.
find that and more on there. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Last question I have for you. Where can people find you online if they want to continue to follow in your journey, learn more from you?
Well, yes, I would love it if you follow the video dietitian on Instagram. That is where I am the most active, and you can feel free to message me if you have any questions about about video, and we can connect on there. And so you can do that, and all of my links and things are all inside of my link in bio on there as well. But like Katie said, aprilsins.com is sort of my link tree. And so you can find me on there as well.
Um, okay. So thank you so much for being on the podcast today, April. I always love it when you come on, share your expertise. So go sign up for her webinar. Go check out her free hooks freebie, start making more video, leverage Chat GPT, and thank you so much for being on the podcast. And thank you to everyone for listening.
Thank you so much, Katie.